Hey y'all, Dennis here, Muddy Water Search and Recovery. And as everybody is well aware, 2023 is quickly coming to a close. And I wanted to go ahead and come on and do a brief 2023 recap of Muddy Water Search and Recovery. I say brief, I'm going to go over several of the things, but we will be doing a live feed as a team in the coming days to go into more detail on the recap, but I wanted to just come on and do a brief recap with you guys. Muddy Water Search and Recovery. February 7th will be 3 years that Muddy Water Search and Recovery has been around helping families find their missing loved ones. Before that, I had a company that I owned, Muddy Waters Hunting and Fishing Adventures. I made the fishing lures, the hunting gear, had a website I sold products on, that sort of thing. And started this channel originally to air hunting and fishing adventures. And then one day, a little over 3 years ago now, just flipping through random videos on YouTube, I come across Adventures with Purpose. I saw two gentlemen in a boat, water, and, curious what it was. And it happened to be one of their videos on the Randy Leach case. Randy Leach sounded familiar. I knew I had heard the name. I had heard the name locally about a case from a long time ago, seen some flyers, watched the video, went and got Megan, had Megan watch it, and it triggered her. She remembered the case, or at least hearing about it. Randy went missing the year that Megan was born. And so I started binge watching different teams on YouTube. But for the next few days, I couldn't get it out of my mind. I felt like I needed to do something to help. And one thing I noticed with the teams that were on YouTube is everybody focused on water searches where a vehicle is missing as well, and that foul play wasn't looked at in those cases. And Megan and I had laid down to go to sleep one night, and I couldn't fall asleep. And she's like, "What's wrong?" And I told her, I feel like I need to do something to help. And she turned the light on. She rolled over. She's like, "I've been thinking the same thing. What do you want to do?" And so got to thinking, most of my life has been hunting, fishing, out in the outdoors. And I know these teams doing the water sonar searches. The sonar was something that they were used to before getting into this. And they were going with their skills to be as efficient doing this as possible. And I told Megan, I don't really see ground searches going on. In many of these cases, do lead towards ground searches, maybe putting my hunting experience to use, being able to read the land and track and all of that to where we can cover and start doing the ground searches. But having the fishing background and sonar and all of that, to make a long story short, we decided that we would do both ground and water searches. And, if it's a foul play case or not, we were open to trying to find any of these missing people, anything to help the families bring their loved ones home. And that's how Muddy Waters got started. And a big shout out to our team members. When we first started, it was me and Megan. And then shortly after, Megan's sister Chrissy come on board. And then little ways down the road, Alex and Tammy come on board. they have been so incredible. Not just their help and assistance and doing the background work on these cases are coming on the live feeds or the videos, but the search efforts, everything that they have done has just been so incredible. You're going to be hard pressed to find two more loving people than Alex and Tammy. We go a little ways further and we bring Dan in. Dan joins the team, and his investigative skills on open source investigations are top level, and always willing to help these families do what he can to help bring these missing loved ones home. He's been doing an awesome job over on TikTok, and it's just been incredible. Then Jeff and Chris are the other two, and I know they haven't made it over on a live feed yet to introduce them to you that way. Behind the scenes, they have both been incredible. Very good guys. If you remember when we done the ground search for Crystal Kipper, I believe that was earlier this year. Chris is one of the guys who was with us that day. He done tremendous out there. And, you know, the team, I couldn't be more proud of the team. You know, their hearts, their minds, everything. It's all about the families, all about the missing people and bringing them home. And, you know, I couldn't be more proud of each and every one of them. Right now, we are working on 227 different cases. The majority of these are missing persons cases. They span states all across the United States. This is everything from what's classified or categorized through law enforcement as teenage runaways. We've got the obvious foul play cases. We've got adult runaways. We've got, you know, cases that look like could be an accident or something along those lines. I mean, anything that it could be, it seems we have cases that is a possibility of. Both ground and water searches. We have done both ground and water searches and will continue to do so. As far as, and I've been asked this a few times, you know, how many cases have we been a part in helping bring the loved ones home? I'll be honest with you, we lost count. At one point, I was trying to keep a record of that. The last I remember, it was over 100. Many of these were teenage runaways, but several others were not. We've had everything from accident to foul play to runaways to, unfortunately, suicide. It's been across the board. And, you know, in these cases, we have helped find people that were alive and safe. We've helped find people that were deceased. And the latter, it is always hard. It is always emotional. But the families at that point, they know where their missing loved one is. They can lay them to rest proper. They can begin the healing process. They will never get over the pain, but they can begin to heal and be able to move on. This year, and those, again, you know, there were several teenage runaways. Some of these, we got information out to law enforcement who were able to go to these locations, make the recoveries, or find the missing person. So there's been some that we have contacted other teams, and they've been able to go to the location and make the recovery. And on the teenage runaways, there has been a handful of them that we would do a case layout video and go through the case, and somebody would recognize the person as, that person has been staying across the street from us, and they've notified law enforcement, got law enforcement out there. Turns out it was them. That has happened multiple times. And that's where the videos and sharing these videos and flyers are so helpful and amazing, because, there's proof that it works. This year, we were able to go out and do some searches. 2 of those were pretty extensive. As I mentioned, we went out on the search for Crystal Kipper. There was Alex and Tammy's daughter, Chris and myself went out there. While we're out there, we started having some questions about things in the case. So 99% of the time we were on the ground searching. We had Dan on the phone, and Dan's also on his computer looking up information for us. Unfortunately, that day we did not find Crystal Kipper. We still believe this is the location that she is going to be found on. We also believe there could be up to 22, 23 others found in this particular area. And the property owners have been incredible. You guys go in, do what you need to do. They want to know that their property is clear. Another search effort that took place this year, Alex and Tammy actually went out of state and was involved in digging up several locations in a residential yard. Unfortunately, this is the Mark Fullerton case. Unfortunately, Mark was not found during that search. And we do have other locations of interest in that case, and we'll be going back down, covering potentially 3 different states as far as search efforts go. But Alex and Tammy done an incredible job on that search. Some of Mark's family was present and assisting in that search, and they just done an amazing job. Then the other night, Alex and Tammy went out looking for Kathy Anderson. They left home it was around midnight. They didn't get home till after 3 a.m. They drove around the airport. They went to motels, showing her picture, giving the story. They went to the Waffle House, where an employee remembered waiting on Kathy there. Evidence there, we believe that this was her. But they done just an amazing job that night. I know Alex was so tired. He had been working all day. It's late. They got to go to work the next day. And, they were laying there. It's cold outside. And, it was just in their hearts to go out and search for her, concerned that she may have been out in the cold. And they went out and they done their very best that night and just done an amazing job. Megan and I, we done a ground search here in town, and I don't have the name written down. I will get back to you on Derek Collins, I believe it was. And we went and we done pretty extensive ground search for Derek Collins. It was the last location in this particular area that we felt he could be. We were able to clear that location. It was a ground search. There is a creek that runs through the area. We were able to see the bottom of the creek all the way through. And we are very, very confident that area is cleared. The other location down on that end where he could have been. Law enforcement done an extensive search over there, and that was clear. So that has led us to a different location, which completely changes up some of the story. We are still looking into that, and we'll be doing that search. That is some of the searches we have done this year. There's also been a couple locations we got on for smaller styled searches, but in the Randy Leach case. So there were several searches that took place this year, and we have a lot of locations lining up for this coming year. We are seeing an uptick across the board from the number of people going missing, as well as the number of people getting involved in helping bring the missing loved ones home, which we are so thankful for. Alex and Dan and I kind of talked a little bit today, and in the coming days, we are going to do a live feed about the uptick in missing persons cases. What we're seeing is right at a 300% uptick in missing persons cases. So we want to kind of break that down with all of you guys. So that's another video we will be doing very soon. Thank you very much to all of you who reach out to us with locations of interest, thoughts, theories. You guys have been a tremendous help. In fact, some of the search locations we have coming up, some of the search locations we've already been on has been thanks to you guys reaching out to us. Thank you to those of you who reach out to us with cases you would like to see us work on. Please continue to do so. The teamwork we see here with all of you, and we say this all the time, has been nothing short of amazing. You guys have been incredible. I also want to give a shout out to Kansas Missing and Unsolved, OK Diver, Sunshine State Sonar Search Team, the Missing Persons Center, as well as all the other teams you see on YouTube. Thanks to all of you, and all of you that have social media accounts and focused on bringing these missing loved ones home. Those of you who are sharing flyers, sharing videos, and getting attention on these missing persons cases, thank you very much. That teamwork is a big help in bringing these missing loved ones home. And again, we are currently lining up searches for this coming year. There is a chance we may be going out and doing some searches in the coming days, but as far as scheduled searches, we are getting that list put together generally from November 1st until the weather turns in the spring. We don't actually schedule a search, but if something comes up and we feel we need to get out on that immediately, we will still grab our gear and go out and do that search. But we do have several searches lining up for this coming year. We still desperately need GPR, our ground penetrating radar, and we will likely be doing some fundraisers and such to help us raise the money in order to purchase that. As I'm sure you know, that equipment is very expensive. We're talking around the $20,000 mark, but it's very much needed. We have several cases that it is absolutely needed to get on these properties, get these properties checked. We're talking the Randy Leach case, Crystal Kipper. We're talking Chance Engelbert, Christopher Lupin, Linda Dillard. The list goes on and on. The last I looked at the list, we have about 40 cases that we really need ground penetrating radar on. So you are likely going to see us doing some fundraiser type events this coming year to help us get that GPR. With GPR, and Alex has mentioned this multiple times, if we have GPR and another team contacts us and says, hey guys, we're searching for this person, but it's led us to a ground search, GPR is needed, we don't have that. You can bet we're going to do everything we can to take that equipment to that location with that team or that individual and get that location searched. We're not going to just hoard it for us. What's important is bringing these missing loved ones home, and we would be willing to help anybody and everybody we can with that. We are set up with the sonar, the underwater camera. We do have the inflatable search. It's a search and rescue boat. We do have that set up to run our sonar. We do have the Mega Sight and down image. We also have a second system that is just down image that we do deploy and will continue to deploy when we feel it's needed to have an extra set of eyes on that. I mentioned earlier when I explained, how we got started, and I mentioned foul play cases that other teams don't work those, or many of them don't. I do want to make it clear, I fully understand and respect the reasons any team would refuse to work a foul play case. We've also mentioned before, we've had several threats come in from several different cases. Once again, if we get a threat, we're not going to stop working on that case. If anything, we're going to work on it harder. In some instances, the work we do may not be as publicized as what it would be, but make no mistake, we didn't stop working on that case, and we will. At the point that we feel we can do so safely, we'll be in that location searching. So I fully understand why any team would refuse to work on a foul play case. But for us, and this is something that's been discussed with our team multiple times, we feel these cases need the same amount of attention and effort as all other cases. The reason the person went missing, how the person went missing, why the person went missing, what happened, we don't really, our goal isn't to determine who, what, when, where, how, or why. We do look at every one of those questions. We do discuss those, dig into those. But we're not trying to prove, if it's a foul play case, we're not trying to prove that so-and-so over here is the one who done something to this person. What we're doing is saying, okay, well, if this and that points to this person possibly being involved in this person's disappearance, what locations are linked in this that we need to get on to search? So we're using that information to determine search locations. However, if we do believe we have information that may assist law enforcement in their investigation, we will absolutely contact law enforcement and get that over to them. Also want to say thank you to those who have joined the membership on our YouTube channel. I am working to redo the benefits that come along with being a member, and we'll announce that once that has been fully taken care of. And those announcements will come sometime after the beginning of the year. And I'm looking forward to that and giving back to the members on our channel. If you're not a member, please check it out and consider becoming one. We had a new bronze member come on board just the other day, and thank you very much for that. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed to the channel, those who share the videos, like the videos, leave comments. join in our live discussions. You guys have been so incredible with that. One of the things you're going to see more of this coming year when it comes to our live feeds and our live discussions is we're going to do more open invites out to all of you. And that gives you a chance to actually join us on the live feed. It may be to discuss a particular case. It may just be to chat. But there will be a lot more open invites this coming year. This January, we had, and I want to get into this real quick. I mentioned most of the cases that we're working on are missing persons cases. There is a handful of cases that the person is no longer missing. They have been located deceased. The family has had questions about the cause of death. Normally, there's not a lot that as a search and recovery team we can do to help in a situation like that. But we will look at those cases, and if we feel that the family does have a valid point, we will help the family keep those cases public. And we will look into those on our end. If we get any information that may help them, we will get that sent to the families. But used to, we would have those in the mix. And one of the changes we made is in January, we will have at least 2 live feeds that will be scheduled to cover those different types of cases. So at least 2 live feeds. We will do a 3rd or 4th if needed. And every 6 months, we will do this for these cases. If a new one comes in, we will do a normal case layout like always. And then if we get any information or updates on any of these, anything we can share publicly, then we will do the update videos as well. But every 6 months, that month will be focused on these types of cases. With these types of cases, we're talking Aaron Shane Key, Alex Vindalson, Courtney Cash. These are just some of the names of the cases that we will be covering on that. And again, I always put my phone number. You're welcome to call or text. I put our team email address. The entire team has access to that account. And I try to put our P.O. box on all in the video description of our videos and live feeds. Please reach out to us with any information, thoughts, theories on the cases, suggestions on how we do things. If you have suggestions on what we can do that would make us better, make us stronger, please don't hesitate to reach out with that. Because this is, almost 3 years into this. One thing that has been very consistent is you never stop learning. And if you stop learning, in my opinion, you're not going to go much further. So it's always a learning experience. We're trying to learn as much as we can. And that is another thing I love about our team members is they all had that mentality as well. So any suggestions, any thoughts, comments, anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. Call, text me, email, P.O. box, comments on here, our social media accounts. You can message us on Facebook. So please don't ever hesitate to reach out to us. So guys, I wanted to do this brief run through with you guys, the 2023 recap, and we will go into details in a live feed with the entire team, but that is where we're at. I believe as a team, we're getting stronger every day. We are a lot further at this point than we were at this point last year. And at that point, we were a lot further than we were at that point the year before. I'm looking forward to the 2024 year. I'm looking forward to helping these family members find answers, bring their missing loved ones home. Thank you guys for all of your help, all of your support, everything you guys have done to help not only Muddy Water Search and Recovery and not only all the other teams that are out there, but helping the families that are missing a loved one. And as we're in the holiday season, please keep these families in your thoughts and prayers. You know, obviously, this is not an easy time of year for them. They need our support. They need our love, our thoughts, our prayers. So let's continue to do that. Thank you guys for being here with Muddy Water Search and Recovery. Thank you for being part of our family. Love and appreciate every one of you. Till next time, you guys stay safe, and we will see you.